I think all teams have a well-defined problem.
Yes.
Okay, great. As you've seen, we took a lot of time to build empathy to be able to converge on a certain problem that you will be focusing on. And now we are at the level of ideation. Now is the time to think or start thinking about the solution. And at this level, this is where we will need to brainstorm, to think out of the box in a creative way. And one of the challenges at this level is how can we trigger creativity? How can we allow people to become creative? Now, of course, there are different ways. There are sometimes it's the last minute panic that you get to get things done. And by the way, this is how we do things when we are doing research. When we're publishing papers, if there's no deadline, we keep on working on our papers unless we have a strict deadline where we converge on the idea and then push things out. Now, the good news is that we have some methods and techniques that can help us in create this kind of atmosphere of creativity. So, what are we going to do in step 7 and 8? Now, the most important thing is we would like to enable everyone in the team to put their ideas on the table. And I'm sure you've realized, maybe not today, but usually when you have teams, you have people who are more silent compared to others, people who dominate the conversation, people who impose their ideas. And so how can we leave room for everyone to actually put and share their ideas? This is one thing. The second thing is, how can we allow people to express themselves? Sometimes we may have a fear that the idea that we are proposing doesn't align with the team. So you keep your idea to yourself, right? So we need to create this kind of a relaxed atmosphere where we want to welcome all these ideas. So don't judge people who are sharing their ideas. Be open, be flexible. You can break the ice by having this kind of, yes? Yeah, you need to build trust within your team that, make sure that everyone shares their own perspective. There's no right or wrong solution at this level. And one thing that we can do is, at this level, is to go for quantity and not quality. Okay, so in other words, we need as many ideas as possible to solve the problem that you identified in step 6. We don't want the best solution. We want the maximum number of solutions. Okay? So what we will do now in class is that you have white papers in front of you. We're going to have a competition.
How many ideas?
Exactly. We're looking for the maximum number of ideas that individually think about the problem you identified in step 6 and try to put it on paper, put the solution on paper in front of you. Okay? We need at least 4 ideas. The more, the better. Okay, so go crazy. Okay? All right, so I'm going to time you. So you have so you have a little bit of time. Let's have 4 minutes. Yeah, there's always less than 5. So this time I'm being a bit generous. It's more than 3. So we have 4 minutes. And please don't copy ideas. It's a private activity. Looks like we're going to have a tough competition. Rula, we have more papers if you like. Yes. Okay, 30 more seconds. Hmm? Really? One more. Okay, so let's see if we have a winner today. Who has at least 4 ideas? At least, yes. I think all of us, right? No? 5. Okay, great. 4. So, okay, so at least 5 ideas? 5 or more? 5? It looks longer. Okay. Okay, 6 and more? Oh, 7 and more? 8 and more? 9? Wow. 10? 11? Wow, Eli, we have a winner! 12! Wow. Wow, I think that's a record. That's amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. So at this level, we don't care really about the quality. No, he will share it with the team. So if you realize what we did now is we gave a space for everyone to put their ideas concretely on a paper. Okay, and why did I put a threshold, a minimum threshold of 4 ideas and more? Because usually the first 2, 3 ideas are obvious. So this is how you can somehow become more creative, by pushing yourself to think a bit more. The third thing that we did was time boxing. 4 minutes, come up with ideas. And usually time boxing always works. Okay, you can come up with 12 ideas in 4 minutes, or in maybe 2, 3 weeks, come up with the same number of ideas. So if you time box your team, that will be helpful. Now, what we're going to do next is that you will take these the piece of paper that you have with you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Now you will have time to think about the quality at this level, which is about reflection and generating one solution. So what we just did, we did step 7 and 8. And now it's time to share your ideas within your team to be able to combine these ideas to come up with one solution. So what I'm trying to tell you here is that what you have on paper could be a feature into a broader or a bigger solution. Okay? So we did another thing that is smart, is that we are somehow involving everyone in the team to contribute their ideas into your solution at the end. Okay? It was a good one. Great. And I think you will love it more when you share it with your team, because you will see the diversity of ideas. Because before, I realized that some of the teams, you were leaking a little bit some of the solutions already. Okay, so now it's a good time to think about whether you went up, a bit deeper, and to reflect. So in step 9, we're going to, after discussing it, integrate the new findings into one new thing, one new sketch on paper. Okay, so you have a form. Here's the form. So that is step 7 that you did now on paper. So you don't have to fill it in, 7 and 8. We can start directly with step 9, which is here. It's just a simple piece of paper where you can integrate the idea or the different ideas of your teams into this one form. Okay? Usually it will be a combination. Probably it will be a combination of ideas. Like, let me just give you an example. You may be thinking about creating a new platform. Now, you create the platform, and in this platform, it will be a mix of the features coming from the different team members. All right? Good. So it's time to take a break as well. So why don't we take a break, like grab a coffee, and then we proceed to the rooms? Okay, shall we do that? Yes.